This is from August 23rd, 2004, surprise. Cream puffs. This is one of my favorite sweets. Yesterday, when my mother went to the university and Najma was still asleep, I was thinking about what I could cook to surprise my mother. The first thing that came to my mind was cream puffs, but there was no electricity. And she gives us a little picture. Can life get worse? Monday, October 25th. You ever feel that you were imprisoned in a cage and there is no one except you and a big lion in this cage and you can't get out? You can't get out and there is no way to run, no way to run. That is my feeling. The situation becomes worse and worse. Every day I say that life cannot get worse, but I find that it can. My friend told the girl who sits beside her that if she killed herself, no one would ask why. I am sure that none of you could live one day in Iraq. In Iraq now, there is no happy word in our dictionary. When I look at Aya, her little niece, I hope that her future will be better than ours. But the question is, do we have a future? I cry and cry, but what will happen after that? I can't change the situation, whether I cry or not. Dear America, this is from November 13th, 2004. Don't ask me any questions about what's happening in Mosul, because the situation is bad. Thank you, America, for your help. You have made my life more difficult than it was, worse than it was. We are more scared now. I should ask you a question. What do you do when someone enters your house without your permission? I mean, enters by force. Tell me, what do you do? I would be a liar if I told you I couldn't sleep last night because I was so sad. The truth is I couldn't sleep because the Americans were bombarding our neighborhood. What should I say? I have so many words I want to write, but I can't. Until when must we follow what the America says? Until when must we follow orders? Who is America? Ha! We have the oldest civilization, we have oil, and we have the capability to rule ourselves. I respect the American people who are not with this war. I respect the American people who love Iraq and want peace. I respect the American people my parents talked to me about. My parents lived in America 20 years ago and they admire the American people, but not the Americans who have come to Iraq now, not them. My parents were surprised when they saw the character of the American soldiers. Tomorrow is our holiday. It will be Eid al-Fitr. Because of your help, I will stay home and not go anywhere all day. You know why, of course. If you don't offer your help tomorrow, it could be one of the best days of my life. But you help me. You help everybody in the world to destroy their own countries. But believe me, it is time to help yourself. Words of a 14-year-old girl. Iraq. Actually, I like the title. It's February 18th. Am I the one who is walking on the road, or is it the road that is moving? Or are we both standing, but is it the time that is running? I don't know. On the same day that I got this bad mark, she got to pull out. Well, I'm not doing very well in English. I wrote hard when I meant heart. I'm really bad. You can say that to my face. I got 9 on the English test while all the other girls in my class got 10. All of them. 29 girls got 10 and Hadia got 9. Can you believe it? On the same day that I got this bad mark, I had a really bad nightmare. I was killing this one girl. She was really a nice and cute girl. After school, all the girls went home, and there were only 8 of us left. Me, Najma, the girl who I killed in my dream, and 5 other girls. When I looked at the girl I killed in my dream, I wanted to cry. Finally, she went home. My father called us and said the road was closed and he couldn't come right now and asked us to wait. We were so worried about how we would get home. One of the girls had a little money left in her mobile account, and her cousin told her that she had better call her parents. You know what she answered? I have enough in my account for 1 call, and if I make it now, I would be unable to make another call, so if we died, the people would not be able to use my mobile to call our parents to tell them that we had died. Strange. Yeah, he captures these things. The Nightmare. This is from May 18th, 2005. Aya and Najma and I were alone in the house. Aya and I were asleep when Najma woke us up and said that a cousin who works in a shop near our house called and said there is a mine in front of our street, so we should go to the safe room and open all the windows. We did what he said. At that time there was nothing strange, just the sound of helicopters. After some minutes the nightmares began. We heard the sound of bombs exploding and shelling. We didn't know what was happening. I ran and carried Aya and we sat on the bed far from the window. Me and Najma sang to Aya so she wouldn't be scared. Then a big bomb went off and smashed the window and we hugged each other. Everybody began to call us to ask what was happening. I didn't know exactly. It seemed like the nightmare took 2 months, not 2 hours. After some time, the road was open, and first my mother, and then my father came home. As Najma said, and all the neighbors agreed, never in the war have we had such a horrible day. What happened made me feel sure that the American Army is an occupation force, not anything else. Stay in peace. Hadia. She never loses her sense of humor. We will not go to school tomorrow. Does the date April 9th remind you of anything? It reminds me of the worst day in Iraq, the worst day that every single Iraqi lived. In the beginning, there were some people who loved the U.S. Army and believed that they came to help us. But now, after 3 years have passed, there is nobody that believes that anymore. Nobody who hasn't lost someone from their family or someone they love. Because it tells us, you know, that life goes on. And things happen, you know, that are daily events that happen to families when there is no war. And she calls this one, May 4th, 2006, yes. Another flower opens in my family tree. Hello all. My father went to France last week and he will remain there for about 1 month. I miss him already and so does Aya. She doesn't stop asking where he is. When he first left the house, she wouldn't stop crying, so we told her he had gone to the mosque to pray. She saved that information in her mind, and now whenever we mention his name, she remembers that Lali is praying. I don't know why his prayer takes so long. We are only 5 women in this house. My mother, my big sister, Aya, Najma, and me. But today, a lovely man joined us, so that we will not be scared or something. We have a man in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to our man. His name is Ayman. His age, 21 hours. His look, very little pale baby with some blonde hair and small, miserable eyes. He is cute, calm, and skinny. Here, she sends us a picture. Ayman, right there. During this process, I mentioned that Sasha Crow was instrumental in helping us to make contact and putting this together. And Sasha began to chat with iraquigirl, Hadia. It's not her real name. Hadia on the Skype, and we translated some of those chats here into the document itself. And Sasha asks, when you were a young girl, what did you want to be when you grew up? Can you remember why you wanted to do these things? Hadia. I wanted to be a singer. I was looking to have a nice voice like Fairuz. I used to hear her songs on the radio in the morning and they were refreshing to my mind. I wanted to be a musician because I have a musician's ears. Then I wanted to be a teacher because I love my teachers and they love me too. And guess what? I wanted to be a writer, and well, I still dream of opening a big library in Mosul. One day I was searching through some books in our bookcase, and in many of the books I opened, I found an acknowledgement from the writer, and guess what? The writer was my grandfather. Finally, I opened the book and found some words written for my mother from my grandpa, and it said, "My dear daughter, I give you this book so that maybe you will continue the work that I started." So I guess that made me feel like I wanted to be someone that my grandfather will be proud of. And when I spoke to her about that, you know, and suggested that maybe we could write a book from her blog, and the book would be placed on the bookshelf along with the books for grandfathers. That's when the book